the CMZ Group here in Chicago. Day before Thanksgiving, November 23rd. I'm Killer. I'm with Evan McDaniel at Sell Puts. We're here to break down the market for you. So Evan, we're seeing a lot of moving parts. Initially, we saw this failed bond auction out of Germany. That's really been disheartening. We've seen the euro currency move. What's going on in the euro currency?
It did break down, below that 1.34 metric, and below that there's a lot of air. And if we could keep moving down, that's sending the dollar higher. The dollar's above that 79 metric, which is really putting the clamp on equities and sending crude a little bit lower. Though we did get a pop in crude off the inventory numbers, so we're off the low in crude.
Gotcha. And to rewind for 1 second, you've been spot on that U.S. dollar index last week. We talked about that 78.20 level being resilient. We did bounce off of that. But right now, in that euro currency, if you rewind, folks, you remember when they had that huge hedge fund trade. It was July 1st, 2010, and we saw that gold euro currency trade move, and they bounced that euro currency from 121 handle up to 126. So on the chart, let me know what your thoughts are, but I'm seeing a gravitational pull. Like you stated, there's a lot of air there. So will we see this thing go all the way down to 126?
I think we could. If the pressure remains on the bids and we keep getting worse and worse news out of Europe, they're going to keep selling that and then running to, a de-risking trade into the dollar.
Well, for sure. All eyes continue to be on Europe. We're seeing some high volatility, low volume markets. Friday, the markets will be open as well. The euro currency is obviously, moving the markets, but the gold market, I talked about this last week. We saw that big sell-off in gold. Maybe that was providing some leadership last week because people are getting dry powder.
Very true, I think JP Morgan came out with a sell on all commodities this morning. So, that's putting more pressure, and, crude is leading once again to the downside.
Well, we'll see about that for sure, but we also want to talk, what's the stock monster trade? I know you and Wesley are talking about things all the time.
Yeah.
Give the viewers something here.
My partner Wesley Harr is talking about the 33 metric in the VIX. If we can remain above that level, this has been a trend line for some time, we could see further upside in the VIX. So look at the VIX to stay above this level if the volatility continues.
Well, fantastic. And Evan and I will be in New York next week. We're going to be in Markets Media doing a panel discussing different markets on more of a global macro viewpoint. So if you're in New York, go to the conference. It should be fun. But one other thing, before you go into this Thanksgiving kind of day, you have to remember, be the hammer
and not the nail.